Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host Brian
Anybody?
and Brett.
Jimmy, you suck.
Back to talk. Love is Blind. This is season 6, week 1. This is episodes 1 through 6. So this will be a full week 1 review, impressions. Make sure you check out our TikTok, where I did episode by episode reactions as I was watching them. We will have clips up throughout the week of some of the notable moments, clips from the podcast, and we do a lot of other stuff on there as well. All right, guys. This was interesting. 6 episodes. We did have our gold glasses as usual, but 6 episodes is a jump from the usual 4 that we get in week 1. We spent a lot of time in the pods, which I'm not complaining about, but definitely a little bit more in depth. A lot of triangles, quadrangles, some good decisions, some bad decisions. We're going to go through all the couples, but I just want to hear from you guys first, just off the top, your general impressions of week 1. Bri, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It is a lot going from 4 to 6 episodes, but yeah, I enjoy the show. I wish it would extend because I would love another week of it, but yeah, it's good. I like the people. Like you said, the triangles I think were interesting, and I think the preview for next week looks good, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so this being week one, I think they they definitely should have done 2 weeks, 6 episodes, especially going from like all the crap that was happening with the triangles to then going to the couples retreat. They definitely should have left us with a cliffhanger at some point around episode 5 or 6 because I was fully invested in the relationship between I think what Jin and Jimmy. And then when he dumped her, like I was pissed. And then when Chelsea dumped Big Dog Trevor, I was also pissed. So
We're going to get into everybody here. So I'm going to run through the couples where we stood after the first week and where the engaged couples are. And then I'm going to run down the general topics as we go. We'll flow this through. All right. Couples. We had AD and Clay. We had Brittany and Kenneth, Chelsea and Jimmy, Laura and Jeremy, and Amy and Johnny. Our first topic, guys, here I have on the board is the Matthew AD Amber situation here. Whew. Um, this Matthew guy was tough, man. He really was tough. I mean, you talk about not being personable, it's borderline needing to be diagnosed. This guy was like legitimately. I mean, he came in with the numbered list. He even when he was going along with AD and was it AD and Amber, he was telling him, "I'll make my decision in the morning." Like he's making them run down and wait by his schedule. He's also literally telling the exact same things to 2 different women named Amber. The A in AD stands for Amber. 2 Ambers.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I mean, this is season 6. I was telling Brett before he got on, Bill. That's a season 1, season 2 mistake. You cannot make this mistake in season 6. There's so much source material. They're gonna talk to each other. You don't have a phone. What are you supposed to talk about except your connections? I mean, just loser move. Complete loser move.
this guy was a complete enigma to me. I didn't know what he was doing, what was going on. Like one minute he's super awkward, the next minute he's just like the fuck boy, swag central. He had 2 women on the hook, like you said, telling them the same thing. We saw most of it with AD and not the other Amber. And then he basically, like, I was still puzzled watching it back where he dumped AD to pursue Amber. I didn't really understand what was happening there because I thought he was more into AD. He mentions at one point he's on the show to find love and not be a C-list celebrity, but he was very much giving that energy of Chad from The Bachelor back in the day, trying to just be like chaos douchebag.
I mean, guys, he's America's underdog. America loves an underdog. America's watching. He was panicked. This dude, when he was dumping AD, it seemed like Chris Hansen had just walked in the room and he was a child predator. And like, yeah, oh my God, everyone's watching. America's watching. I'm gonna go after Amber. Amber was so shook when she found out that she had been bragging to the other girl and felt so crappy when she realized she was being lied to too. She didn't even bother to go and wait to have the goodbye explanation with him. She was just like, I'm out of this house and he's pursuing her. She better change her phone number or something because like I hope he never finds her.
No, definitely not. It's kind of similar to remember last season when or 2 seasons ago when the guy called the girl because she left,
Yeah.
but like
They
we
had
wanted them,
lunch and
and they
all.
ended up like they ended up being they ended up being together. But this one is
But
like
yeah, they're married with a
yeah,
kid.
like that's a story we can get behind, but not this one was. That's like the polar opposite. Like, yeah, definitely block her number. Get like somebody to stay at a parked car outside of her house for a little bit because that's creepy stuff.
I hope we do see them both again because I think it'll be good TV.
No, I agree. I
So,
completely agree.
I also don't think that he's interested. I mean, he might be, he's not interested in her in the way that, like, oh, like, I love you. I'm sorry. Like, he said he's not there for the TV, but I think he's very much there for the TV, which is why he said, hey, America, you love the underdog and all that crap that he
Yeah.
was spewing at the end. Like, everything he did was giving us Sydney from The Bachelor of, like, hey, I'm whatever. Sorry, but my blur that, but yeah.
I like the fact that the like this whole thing turns a big mess. AD is my favorite, was by far my favorite person through the first 6 episodes. The real damn shame of all this is because of all this crap, and she actually was trying to melt Matthew's icy heart. She's now being basically shoved into the arms of Clay, who's also a douchebag. Like, look, like, yes, guys, like we're all guys, and we've reviewed all 5 seasons of this show. Yeah, of course, looks are important. You don't talk about it though. You don't ask about it in the pods. Like, and to say that it's a deal breaker, she didn't like that. And then I feel like she just felt like she had to go with somebody. And I don't know. I mean, the previews haven't shown anything really super bad with them. Well, no, they're fighting, right? They were fighting in the preview too.
Yeah.
I think she deserves better than that. I'm sorry. And look, if he through the rest of the episodes turns out to be a great guy, then I will totally, but at the end our end review, say, you know what, I got the wrong read on the guy. Don't have a great vibe on him right now.
He's the one dude that said he hasn't watched the show before, so him talking about looks doesn't surprise me. But he's
Mm-hmm.
still an idiot. Yeah, I like her too. She's not my favorite, but I mean she's definitely in the top for what's going on. But yeah, he just even when they got out, he's like, well, you need to go to the gym. I mean, like that's never gonna land, man.
Yeah, that crap. Well, you got to stop with that,
Yeah, and she's like a gym person.
dude.
You know what I mean?
She's
Like,
objectively
yeah,
is maybe the most attractive person on the show. Like there's nothing wrong with her. Like
yeah, I don't
if she were getting out of shape, I'd let you know. It's kiss my ass, dude.
yeah, right.
Like I don't like how we're doing this podcast right now. It's like Brett. It's just like the love is blind. Like we should like we do an episode where we're all just
It's
blind.
like I think something happened in his apartment because like, he reacted to something, and I think he thought it came through the screen. I don't know what happened, but something happened.
Okay, you're gonna throw up like a nice "Love Is Blind" logo when this is happening. All
Yeah.
right, Brian. So yeah, what do you think of Clay and AD though? Do you think that's a viable couple?
Yeah, I
What do
don't
you
know,
think?
man, because like they showed the preview was tricky on them because we saw them fighting, and then we see them kind of kissing and happy. So like, and then she's like saying, I'm assuming she's saying to her family, like, I feel really protected by him. Like, do you remember that part?
Yeah, yeah.
So like, I can't get a gauge on what that one is gonna be like because I mean,
He didn't
compared
have
to
a
some
great sense of humor.
Well, no. Well, we'll get to that. That was weird. First off, like I can't believe it's the year 2024 and something grown ass people are talking about bean dipping. Like what is that? Like that shit happened when I was in college, and like my friends would do it to me. They wouldn't do it to like
Bro,
they wouldn't
that
do it
we're
to
talking like
chicks.
2011.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Like,
I mean, that's crazy. I couldn't believe like I had to like I double taked when I heard bean dip. I was like, what? But
yeah. So let's move on then. It's actually a great segue because the next topic I had listed was Laura and Jeremy. Um, okay, this is a good one. Um, actually, you know what? Before we go to Laura and Jeremy, I'd rather actually talk about our boy because I did skip the one Jimmy, Jessica, and Chelsea triangle.
Tommy from Power.
Tommy from Power. Yeah, Jimmy has Jessica, who I think everyone's probably going to agree may have been the if there had been like a looks draft, may would have been probably top one or two. Uh, has a 10-year-old daughter, Autumn. Obviously it's going to be a big deal breaker for people, but when they have their early conversations, he says it is not a deal breaker. I mean, this dude goes all the way down the line with her to the extent that she's sending him the letters to her future husband and the whole thing. And he just I just don't get his decisions, frankly. I mean, I think Chelsea is great, but I think she made the wrong decision, frankly, as well. Like, what is your
Yeah, I
vibe,
agree.
Jimmy?
No, I completely agree. Like she should have went with Trevor. 100%. I like Trevor. Like it's kind of unfortunate we don't get to see him like on the couples retreat and things like that. But like, I mean, we're gonna see him. That's a good one thing about these future later seasons is they do show the people in the pods that didn't make it or were on the cusp. But I don't know, man. I don't feel good about that relationship at all. Like the things he's worried about and the things she's getting worked up about, it's a recipe. It's there's always one relationship that is just like this every
Look,
season.
Jimmy made plenty of comments to her when they arrive on the honeymoon about just like keep reassuring her about her looks, and she's not asking, and it's because that's like what's running through his head because he's convincing himself that he's attracted to her. He goes and he makes
Yeah.
the AD fit comments, where then she awkwardly yells out and lets everyone know about, and becomes like a weird situation because she felt weird, and she gets more upset throughout the night and then tells him about that back at the hotel. That stuff's not going to stop. And then, frankly, even to go back to the pods and with Jessica, if you had no interest off the bat in being a stepdad, like you should not have ran and dated her as long in the pods as you did. And I think that's where the effed up part is, because once she let somebody know, aka him, about her daughter, and he says no, let's keep going. Like, dude, that's the time where you say, I'm not sure I can fully commit to that, but you let it down that path. And with all the looks comments and things now, it's going to feed into it. And you saw that preview, dude. Like the banging comment, like that was about him, right?
Yeah, like did you have sex with him? Like she's talking about did
Her
you
with
all right,
her,
yeah, did
right?
you have sex with her?
And you think we're talking about
Jess, yeah,
Jessica,
yeah, I think that's what we're talking about.
bro?
It looks like they go on like a camping retreat.
Oh my god, what a dog! Oh my god,
I don't but you know what, man? I could see that they didn't, and because she seems like she is I don't know how to say this, but I feel like she could be like assume she's gonna assume that something happened. Because the one
yep.
dude's talking to the chick for till 5 in the morning.
Oh
Also
yeah. Well, we're
Jeremy.
gonna get that's Jeremy,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Laura, Jeremy with
Sarah Ann, I think her name is.
yep,
So
yep.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I do like that they're doing because I know they normally do like a little mixer, but if they're going away on this like little camping retreat and they're staying over, I think that's smart. It's good. That's good TV.
It's great TV. They are learning. Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens with Jimmy and Chelsea. We're gonna go over at the end here our where they stand, but spoiler alert, I have it as not very good.
Yeah, they're definitely in the low end of the power rankings.
Laura and Jeremy. I liked Laura actually throughout this episode. Yeah, she did make the weird bean dipping comment and stuff, which was whatever. But I do want to give her props because she's the one that ratted out the situation to Jessica, which allowed Jessica to be on the offensive with Jimmy
Yeah.
and not get caught off guard and end up in a bad TV moment. Um, that was like the only form of snitching that I will allow, because it was basically her just eavesdropping in the same room.
Yeah, because Jess was about to look. It would have been, yeah, like you
Really
said, that
bad.
internet moment. I mean, but then Jess comes in, she looks incredible and just shuts his ass down. And I was like, I don't think this will be the last time we see her
I
on
just
it, even on another
cannot
show. Yeah.
wait for that moment next week when he sees her for the first
Oh,
time.
he's gonna shit his pants,
You
dude.
know she's gonna be fit to the dime.
Well, I mean, she is, and then
But
she's.
but I mean like her
Oh
fit is
yeah, I
gonna
mean
be
that's what you
like,
do when you lose. Like when you lose in like a 50-50 like that, you got to come back and like 100 look good. I mean, she already looks good, but like you need to show up and be like, look what you're missing. So I saw someone online though, but Bill, some people are like annoyed that she said that. Like this is a love is blind thing, and it's like I was like, I don't know if I agree with that. Like she kind of got done dirty, so
yeah,
maybe
she definitely got done dirty. He has her like it's kind of crap talking her later, saying, "Well, she said to me that like she's really good looking," and like, why would you say that? It's like, well, why wouldn't you say that?
Right.
Um, moving on to Brittany and Kenneth. Brittany and Kenneth, at least for week one, were probably the most boring, right?
I like them though.
I like them. That's not a bad thing of the show. Boring means you have a pretty good foundation, both heavy foundation in their faiths. Uh, I mean, they're just nice. They're waiting for marriage to have sex. Like they seem nice right now. Preview shows her accusing him of changing since they've gotten home. So we'll have to see what that is. I wrote down here for you guys, do you think that's a serious thing or like an editing trick?
I think an editing trick. I mean, he's a principal, so he had to go deal with a bunch of annoying kids, I'm sure. And he's like, I was on vacation. I was loving my life. And then I got to go back and deal with these kids. Like, I deal with 2 kids every day, and it's a lot. So, I mean, imagine being a principal, you're dealing with like hundreds.
I live with a bunch of idiot kids that set your building on fire during the middle of a Zoom recording, and you have to run across the street to jump back on. But I think it's an editing trick, and that they're good. I think they're good.
No, I like them for sure.
Right on the street.
I like couples like them, and then the couple we're gonna go to next. I do like there being a few at least initial drama-free couples. It's the whole point of the show.
Mhm.
So obviously I'm talking about Amy and Johnny. They're just
They're just
nice,
there, man.
happy
That's good for
people.
them.
Like I don't have anything bad to say about them
No,
right now.
nothing. I like them too. It's yeah, because I mean, even when their conversations, like they're connecting on things like interest, which is nice. They're not connecting on like, oh, my family, like you know what I mean. Like they have common interests, and that's not always the case. I feel like a lot of times it's like faith and the trauma, and there's not like they're connecting on the good things.
Talk about trauma. I mean, there was a lot of trauma with a lot of these people. It's really,
The Jimmy triangle was trauma
I mean,
because Chelsea was married.
Jessica
Yeah,
lost both of her parents. Like same
foster
thing.
care.
Chelsea, yeah,
Did it at a young age. Chelsea, like twin mom. That I mean that story made me sad.
that
As
story was crazy.
yeah. But yeah, just and she was already married. Like I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy with the conversations, and that's why the Amy one like then there was none of that. They were just like, hey, I like anime. So do I. I
With that,
binged it.
I thought that was interesting. Like you said, that they didn't get much camera time. I think that's because they're too normal or they're
Yeah.
too cohesive that there's no drama.
Too
And
healthy.
there was a moment where Amy was with the other girls for like the first time on the beach, and they were all talking to each other, and she's like, "All right, cool. Where's my husband or my fiance or whatever?" And she went and just started making out with him.
Yeah, like I like that. Yeah, Bell. They need to have like somebody that's concrete each season for the hope.
All right, boys. This is where we are going to evaluate the overall power rankings here of the couples, so they can either be safe, toss up, or DED dead. So right now, tell me if you disagree with any of these rankings. As far as DED dead, right now, after 1 week, I only have one couple definitely in the out, and that's Chelsea and Jimmy. He can't keep his
100%.
mouth shut about how great
100%.
other women look, and he's definitely going to screw up next week.
Yeah, I
Brent, you
agree.
go with that?
Oh, they're dead, and I hope they're dead because, like I said, I wish he was with Jennifer, Jessica, whatever. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Jessica, but he doesn't deserve her.
No, he doesn't.
He
He
does
doesn't
not deserve her. I think I don't know. I feel like she might have been like just in a position where like, all right, he's good enough. I'll take him. You know, he's the best guy here. I'll take him. And then he was very hung up on the fact that she was a mom. And then the other girl looked like Megan Fox. So I think he sort of like got his
Megan
head a little
Fox.
bit. And he even said, he's like, oh, do I want to like be an insta dad or do I want to like go travel the world? I've never been out of the country. So I think that was a big key factor.
Yeah.
With her with Chelsea, I think she's good looking. She does. I mean, I didn't think at first she looked like Megan Fox, maybe like a little bit.
She
I
doesn't
can
look like Megan
I can
Fox.
see it. I can see it. But I think she's very insecure.
Yeah.
And him doing what he was doing on the beach kind of like really is gonna screw stuff
Yeah,
up.
it's not cool. It's just like dumb. It's just a dumb move that you just like completely. It wasn't like an obstacle. You just completely created that yourself. That's the problem for me. All right, guys. In the danger slash toss up category, I have Laura and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Um,
That big dick of his isn't doing enough.
I don't think they're like super great or super bad, so I don't want to put them in either. But they just seem pretty neutral to me right now. I for them, I really want to see what happens when they go home. You got to be really bad to end up in the bad category, and that's where Jimmy has landed himself. So I have them in the middle right now. Do you guys think they should be higher?
I think they're dead at this point because he has the conversation with the other girl on the dock for like 6 hours.
There and yeah.
So I
Well, right
think
at this point, from what we've seen so
Well,
far,
that's in the trailer.
yeah. When she
Just
holds
to,
up the
yeah.
cup and he's like, his dick is this big. It's like
So that's why the toss. So they're good for now, but
they,
next week things will
oh
shift.
yeah. I think we're gonna move. There's gonna be a lot of movement.
they're weird. They're weird. She said herself that she like any hint of a red flag, she runs.
Well,
And
then it's coming. I also have in the middle AD and Clay. I have them in the middle because
Yeah.
he was not her first choice at all, and I just there's signs of what's he going to be like when they go home and stuff. So I didn't like the comments about him telling her like she would have to go back to the gym if she slipped up. And I didn't like the idea. Like Brian said, he may not have been watching the show, but asking about looks in the pod and saying it's a deal breaker, it just shows a certain mindset. And again, I reserve the right to say I'm wrong if he turns out to be a great guy throughout the next few weeks, but I have that in the middle right now.
Yeah, I think that's the true fringe one. I think because we just don't know what we're gonna get.
I would put them near the top. I think
Okay.
that I think they're a good match for each other. I do think he's been like fuckboyery in the past, and some of the like stuff he said I think is not necessarily fully serious, but maybe a little bit tongue in cheek. So I think they're a good match for each other. You know, they'll both, go from. She even said it herself. She was like a fuck girl. She dated athletes and stuff or whatever. So I think they're now at the age where they're gonna mellow each other out.
Hopefully,
I think it's a pretty fair argument.
yeah.
Okay, so that leaves us with two more. I have both of these couples in the safe after the first 6 episodes.
I agree.
Amy and Johnny, I think that's almost like a lock.
I think they're number one if we're gonna rank them.
I have
They
them
should be
number one. That's
Yeah,
what I had. That's why I have
seed.
them listed at the top of the list. And then second ranked, I have Brittany and Kenneth. The faith, the kind of just them both being kind people, background and kind of common stuff with her being a teacher in the past and being a principal. I just think
Yeah.
there's like a lot there. They've both obviously saying this is their first interracial relationship. So I'm sure that's going to be something we explore when they meet the families, right? I'm sure that's going to be a pretty big thing. I mean, that was even a conversation that AD had with him.
Yeah.
So it's obviously going to be a storyline. It's going to be interesting to see. Like it always is on this show next week where families stand, because that's always could be a big grenade in some of these good and medium couples.
Yes.
Can completely blow them up. So,
And the home visits where you live. Also,
if you're a dirtball, yeah.
No, I don't know. I like this rankings. I would say that I know Brett, you said that you think that AD and Clay are safe, and I would agree if the other two weren't there. If we're gonna power rank them, they're definitely 3 for me. So that's why I kind of feel like they have to be slotted in that middle. But
Yep, they're 3 for me too. That's exactly how I had it.
They're like right, like almost. They're in the middle of,
Yeah,
like
it's
safe to. I have faith in them.
We had it. Amy and Johnny.
Yeah.
Amy and Johnny, Brittany and Kenneth. 3 was AD and Clay. 4 Laura and Jeremy, and 5 Chelsea and
like
Jimmy.
25 is
8,000 is
So,
Chelsea.
The bottom 4 or 5 or 5, 4, 5, 6, whatever. I think they're all dead.
Yeah, even the couples that like almost didn't make it. They're all those couples that were almost made the triangles. They're ahead of Jimmy and Chelsea. Like Jimmy and Chelsea are all the way at the bottom.
Somehow Matthew may end up better off.
I think it's gonna be really funny if he get. I don't think he's gonna be invited.
Amber, if you're watching this, hi.
It's gonna be really funny when they see like he kind of look. I mean, he kind of looks like a serial killer, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
So like when they show up, I think that's gonna be funny.
Like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, because also like remember Chelsea when Chelsea said on the beach like I'm really into muscly dudes, and Trevor is that guy. He's that dude. So it's gonna be really
nice.
fun. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun when those people come in. Like the mixer's gonna be great. The sleepover mixer.
I think Trevor and Chelsea need to be together, and I think Jimmy needs to figure his shit out because he could have gone with the girl with the kid, but I liked her a lot. But
Trevor was in my top 3 people overall we saw.
Yeah. Get to that. Let's get to that.
Oh, shithead rankings. I just had top 2. I have Jimmy and Matthew. I mean, I think that's pretty easy.
Mm.
I best rankings. I had AD. Thought AD was great. I had Trevor. I just thought he was really funny. The mullet, the whole thing. He just seemed very genuine. And then I had Laura. I thought she was really funny. I thought the bean dipping thing was funny. I thought that people were just like got too serious about it. And I liked the move she made to save Jessica. I think that was like an honorable move. So
yeah, I just can't believe that bean dip is a thing in their old lives. Like it just blows my
I
mind.
didn't think we were going to hear it, but we heard it on Valentine's Day, 2024. Where were you?
At home.
So what is bean dipping? That's where you slap someone's titties? Is that what's going on?
Dude, okay, so what I thought it was, if we're gonna get into it, if they said it's this, I thought you go under. Like you're scooping dip is what I thought it was like this.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Like you were nacho.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting something, that's why you go under it. And
God, that was a college thing. That was so annoying. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
so
I forgot about
stupid.
that.
none of my friends watch any of these videos, but if they know who they are and they know who they did it, and
They know
remember,
they did. You know what you did.
yeah, and they're some of my best friends, but they're just were annoying. Yeah,
Just
you
hats
go
and show
under.
up.
They were saying it was on top, which I don't think is true. And then what's his face?
I've had dudes flick my nipples for whatever reason for like college frat bro shit.
Yeah, I mean it's
Had any girls do it though.
no, girls never did it. It was guys did it to other dudes. Like you do it in like a bar. You're talking to a girl, and the other
You
guy would
believe
come
it in
behind you.
yourself. It can happen
Yeah, they're
one
trying
day.
to like
Brett.
break your focus. But
Just a quick flex.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you've ever been bean dipped.
Yeah, if you've got this far, please let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I thought it was a challenge to watch 6 episodes. I know a lot of you probably have not made it this far yet. But when you do get through the week, we want to hear what you thought. We'll be back next week. It's only 3 episodes next week. Way more manageable. Maybe we'll get a guest on next week. So if somebody else, one of our friends, have watched the 3 episodes, nobody can watch 6 except for us.
1.25 speed, man.
Yeah, I did 1.5 a lot of the
Yeah,
times.
I did 1.25 because of that time, but yeah.
But it works.
Normal speed. And then a fire alarm went off in the middle of recording 10 minutes in.
It's show business. Make sure you're like and subscribe to all of our playlists. We're covering a ton of stuff right now. From things like Vanderpump Rules. Brian's doing reviews of Love and Hip Hop. We are doing Farmer Wants a Wife on Fox. What else are we doing?
Love Island, Bachelor.
Oh yeah, The Bachelor is going on. We did 2
Traitors.
nights this week. The Traders US,
Doing
Traders
Ready to
UK. We
Love.
just finished. Yeah, and 2 weeks from tonight, Survivor season premiere. So we'll be back.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, check out our social medias. And for everyone here, myself, Brian, Brett, everyone at the Reality Guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace. Happy Valentine's Day.
Background.